Yeah. Better days, I pray for better days. Working hard cause I want extra pay. Talk to them seeds, but you must demonstrate. Cause it's your ways that they gon' imitate. Non-violent. Sometimes I wish I would've went to college. Frown proudly. Cause where I'm from, they hate you when you smiling. Your faith should be your gun. You can't leave home without it. The children being grown, cause all the parents on reality. I bet they doubt you. Tell them all about your dreams. That's when they out it. Your own blood. Ain't no family no more. They do you badly for show. You try to patch up your soul, Lord knows you on a mission to show him you so submissive. The prayer said in silence. You know the devil can hear attention. Know the war's within. How much time do you spend? Try to balance your zen, then again, losses is lessons. You tell me you trying to win. We know about saving money. You trying to spend that on the bed tears. Your years was just a thing. You tired of going hungry. Can't deal with fake making your life lonely. Your lack of faith that left your soul bony. But you gon' work and you gon' strive. Do what it takes to survive. What is truth? What is a lie? You know that war's inside. Some get straight into the fake. They don't know what to decide. Wrong. Meet your people when you and I. People hit quick lies. The things you need to feed your soul is on the rise. They not gonna wanna let you go, but it's alright. It's cool to bury what's gonna grow. Went from wrong to the right and to the dark to the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. Gotta hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight for that cause it changed. Wrong to the right and to the dark from the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. You just hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's changed your life. Ain't the person that I used to be. What I hate is that you see stay the same. No things change usually. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me. Yeah. I ain't the person that I used to be. Things that used to see. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me.
Yeah, don't be stressing on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. Just keep going and keep your faith, so you can win this race. This race called life. This race called life, yeah. Race called life. I'm grinding cause I know that I'm gon' get it. I just gotta have vision. Keep faith and be humble. And have some patience with it. I've been there once since day. Never fight, never stand, I do it, I'm too with it. And even though I'm on this road, I'm still daddy to my children. You know I do good with them, and don't like being missing. But I hate when my bills are thicker and my pockets get thinner. But I can't stress up on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. Keep good, my faith. So you win this race called life. This race called life. I'm on the race called life. This race called life. This race
Peace to the chat. Peace, Titan family. How y'all feeling today? How y'all feeling today? Shout out to these two gentlemen. Well, let me greet the fans first. Ladies and gentlemen, scholars and spectators, welcome to the Coliseum of Arguments, where ideas don't whisper, they crash. Tonight isn't just a debate, this is the main event showdown of philosophy, power, and public trust. In one corner, the voice of institutional scrutiny, the challenger of tradition, the man asking whether protection has turned into power unchecked. Pandemus, bringing the heat of skepticism, armed with history, data, and dissent. In the opposite corner, the preacher of principle, the architect of cosmic order and moral law, the man who bends science, spirit, and sovereignty into one world view with God as light. ANUKAKERT, arguing from structure, balance, and principles. And standing at the center of the ring is me, your host, former debater, A1. I'm not here to play referee, but pressure and test the truth. The question before the House is razor sharp. Should the fraternal order of police be disbanded? Is it a shield of solidarity or a wall against accountability? A necessary union in a dangerous world, or an organization that has outlived its ethical mandate? So let's get right into it. That's enough from me. You know what? And let's give these two. How you feeling today, gentlemen? Can you hear me? Am I muted?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm good, man. Fired up, ready to go, man.
That'd be crazy, right? That'd be
I'm
crazy. I did that
fired
whole
up and
intro.
ready to go,
You
man.
muted, Pam.
Let's get in, baby.
How you feeling, Pam? Let's get a mic check on you. How you feeling?
Check 1, 2. You already know what it do. You hear me?
Damn, brother.
Let's go.
He need to calm down, man. Drink a cup, take a couple of shots,
Let's
Tan.
go. We get the Titans are in the building.
Shout out Titans. Shout out Bar, nigga. Shout out the Manubians. You know what I'm saying? Naga World Order in the building. Y'all know how we get down. You know what I'm saying? Knights. Y'all know how we do it. You know what I'm saying? 314 St. Louis representative. Mound City stand up. Y'all know how we get down. We finna get it in. We coming with an opening of what we doing.
What I'm going to do first is I am going to go over the official format again and the rules, so that way there's no confusion from either of you two or any of the people watching at home. So we'll go over this little video. I hope this plays smoother than the intro song did. It's only about 60 seconds, so let's see if we can get through it.
All right, warriors. Listen up. Clash of the Titans official debate format. Rule number 1, order of speaking. The affirmative, the side advocating for the resolution, always presents first. Rule number 2, opening statements. Each debater delivers a 3-minute opening address. Rule number 3, argument rounds. There are 2 rounds per participant. Round 1, presentation of their primary case. Round 2, rebuttal of the opponent's arguments and or further development of their own position. Each round lasts 12 minutes. Rule number 4, turn order. The debater who speaks first will also close second in the rebuttal rounds, Q&A period, and final summations. Rule number 5, cross-examination. Each participant has 10 minutes to interrogate their opponent. This time belongs to the questioner. Pauses or hesitations are counted against their allotted time. If progress stalls, the moderator may intervene only to keep the exchange moving, not to address the judges or the audience. Rule number 6, closing statements. Following Q&A, each debater is granted 3 minutes for a final summation of their case. May the odds be forever in your favor.
Okay, so pretty much what's going on is you have a 3 minute intro. You have two 12-minute rounds, and then each of you will have 10 minutes to question the other. The affirmative goes first. It switches for the Q&A, and there you have it. Do you have any questions, gentlemen?
No question.
Anu, do you have any questions?
No, I'm gonna share my screen. Hold on.
You took the affirmative? You took the affirmative?
I said it
Yeah,
should be disbanded.
I'm for.
I'm saying yes. I was the affirmative. It should be disbanded.
I said it should be.
Wait, that's what I said.
Huh?
He got to be playing games with you, right?
Yeah, he got me.
What? He got it, right?
Hey, yo, real quick though. You know what? I'll go. I'll wait till my intro. Go ahead.
All right.
Let me get that out of here.
Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, hold on before I pull up your screen. And my apologies for not already having this timer ready for you. Three-minute timer.
No, I don't need no problem.
Oh yeah, you definitely.
Yeah, just pull up on screen.
Okay, your screen is sharing.
Okay, so today, y'all, what we're gonna do is show you where cult and fraternity, where these two lines blur, where they become like, almost a conspiracy, right? That these things blur together. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna just take a close look first. What is a cult? Right here it says a relatively small group of people, and the police are a relatively small group of people when you compare them to the United States. It says having a belief or practices, especially relating to religion. In this case, we're not talking about religion unless systematic racism is your religion, right? And we can get into that too. That are regarded by others as strange, sinister, or imposing excessive control over its members. And we don't have to, go into that. We already know that that's a thing, right? And the same thing with fraternities, a group of people associated or formally organized for a common purpose. What? Maybe it's systematic racism. We'll never know. It says interest or pleasure, such as, and then they show you fraternal orders, men student organization, formerly chiefly blah 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 student organization. But we're gonna focus on number one is a group of people associated, formally organized with a common purpose. We're gonna show you that this is a cult of impunity and not a cult of brotherhood. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna land my plane and let the brother come and do his shindig for a second.
You have 1 minute and 20 seconds left. You yield your time.
That, man. I'm ready to go.
Okay. He yields this time with 1 minute and 20 left. Let me go ahead and get this timer reset for you, Pan. Do you need your screen shared, Pan? Take your time. We're here. We can't hear you, though. You're muted.
Been talking this whole time. Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Did you hear me?
Do you need to share your screen?
Oh, no. I'm just going to say a couple things and then we can get it rocking. I probably won't need the whole 3 minutes either. First and foremost, we good? Wait, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, some of you start and we can hear you clear.
All right, excellent. First and foremost, salute to the channel, salute to the panel. Thank you for having me over here. You already know who it is. It's Super Pan Man, wild as a Taliban. Salute to barbarians, all of Barbaronia, the Barbaddies. You feel me? No cut water. Big up on the heavy on the bow game. You feel me? The blood over wine gang. Salute the Nagas. You know what I'm saying? Except this one. You feel me? And One love to all the Pan fans that's been rocking with me across borders. So the brother just mentioned a couple things, you know what I'm saying? Fraternity, you heard him mention a cult, you heard him mention religion even. We're going to touch on a couple of those situations. But the one thing I want everybody to focus on is the organization is made up of individuals. And if the individuals are the problem, they should also be the focus, not necessarily the organization. But we're going to touch on all of that moving forward. We're going to shut the lights out on my brother this afternoon, and may the glory be bloody. Have a nice day. Let's get it. Oh, wait. No cut water.
And you have a minute 42 left. You yield your time.
Yeah. Let's get it rocket.
Okay. Reset this to 12 minutes. I knew you have taken the affirmative, and you are going.
Yeah, I'm ready.
First.
Share my screen.
Hold on 1 second. And time starts when you start.
Okay, so again, we're going to talk about this union. The Fraternal Order of Police is basically a union that basically advocates for police. They're the reasons why it was hard to get police cams and things like that when police kill people and things like that. They're the ones who are getting them off, getting them high-paid lawyers and doing all these things when we try to demilitarize the police so they don't have access to militarized weapons against people. It's the FOP that fights against that. You know what I'm saying? So Pan got a job of trying to convince y'all that the FOP is some type of good thing. But here you go. We're going to show you that it's really a code of impunity. And this is the Lost Republic. This is classified for conscious minds only. This is a forensic analysis of the suppression of Black sovereignty. And as you see right here, this is the White League right here, right? And the KKK, and you see they doing a little Masonic handshake brotherhood right here. You see the little cross and bones right here, right? All this Masonic Masonic type. I'm not saying that this is in origin, right? We're gonna keep it going, right? And the premise is this is to show you that this premises outline a historical theory that the American policing and intelligence are not disconnected entities, but are evolving grand design with a singular objective. And what do you think that objective is? It is to prevent the rise of a messiah. And this is from the COINTELPRO. I'm pretty sure all of you guys are familiar with that. And this is the grand design right here to prevent the coalition of Black nationhood, right? So they're trying to stop this Black nationhood. Why is the nationhood so traumatic to them, right? Here go your boy J. Edgar Hoover, right? And you guys can go read that in this book or go to this website right here, pbs.org, to check that out. So what was lost at Republic? Okay, so before we analyze the system, we must understand what it destroyed. When it destroyed Fort Negro, it was not just a camp or refugee camp. It was a sovereignty sanctuary, right? That's what it was. It was a sovereignty sanctuary, a free Black republic. And we're going to get into why that Black republic is such a menace and a terror to the white supremacists and the white structure, which is what America is built on. So we're going to get into the pillars of the sovereignty, right? So there were 8 to 1,000 men inside this fort, right? The surrounding lands and the habitats, free organized society with rapid descent, not a transient camp. So this is not a transient camp. This is a thriving civilization, right? And you're talking about over 50 miles of crops along the rivers, right? And it was deep. We was able to defend it with heavy artillery, gunpowder, and ready. So that right there is showing you these are people who are trying to be autonomous to the United States, autonomous to the white supremacy, the white structure, the American white scheme. So we're going to get into this with the political catalyst is Andrew Jackson, right? Andrew Jackson saw the fort as basically a general rendezvous for runaway slaves that threatened the security of the entire slave system, right? So this is a sitting president, right? I'm trying to tell you, this is all one seamless coat. The American scheme, this whole idea of justice. It says the U.S. faced binary choice to tolerate a free black nation on its borders or to exterminate it. Slavery was a primary source of Jackson's personal wealth. He never publicly questioned his morality. Enslavers, traders, he owned hundreds of enslaved people throughout his life. Operated a 1,000-acre cotton plantation. The hermit using the forced labor in slave trade, buying and selling people, harsh treatment. He treated enslaved people as property, enforced discipline with extreme. And again, this is the same person who causes the trails. So this is a racist master mason right here. Closing the valves of this destruction. The explosion that destroyed Fort Negro 1916 was not just a military victory. It was an erasure, a geopolitical alternative, right? It was a signal that transformation of America into an expansionist white republic. That's what happened because Fort Negro and other places like it, like Fort, was the alternative. Those were black republics coming, building and forming themselves, and the United States killed it and destroyed it, erased your history, and taught you to be one of them, right? And again, y'all can go look at that, the destruction of Fort Negro. Again, here is your boy Andrew Jackson, Big Mason, right? Type. It says, with the physical sanctuary destroyed, the strategy shifted. The contaminant would no longer just be forts and borders. It was about pervasive, evolving system of control, from the physic to a systemic disenfranchisement of black people, Native Americans, the brutal Indian Removal Act, trails and tears. All of this stuff is coming from the United States government, dealing with them and the people, the white American expansionist ideas. Right now, we're going to go into phase one, which is the overseers. The designs begin with the property protection, the slave patrols. Right, the slave patrols was a citizen militia that deputized all white citizens as superiors. Sound familiar? It says a toxic relationship between law enforcement and communities of color. Hundreds of years. Leroy Purnell was award-winning and nationally recognized professor at Florida Agricultural Mechanical University College of Law. Having served twice, he acknowledged the judicial system and policing running deep. Even the origins of police force themselves has root in slavery. They would hunt down and capture runaway slaves, enact their own form of brutal punishment, and then return those broken black men and women to their owners for another round of physical or disfiguring abuse. When slavery was abolished in 1865, slave patrols transformed into something else. In Reconstruction and post-Reconstruction era, law enforcement often played a participatory and sometimes leading role in lynchings, Jim Crow laws, right? Again, this is all government law. Police is all one entity, all affecting us at one time. Came after the Reconstruction and ended in 1877. They created the apartheid in the United States. Segregation was in the schools, restaurants, whatever, white only bathrooms, yada, yada, yada. Y'all know this. Black people were forced to be on the back of buses. Police enforced those laws. The police did. The police were the ones who enforced the cruelty, right? This is the origins of the police system. So when we get into it, then you're going to understand this is an invisible empire we're talking about, right? Following the 13th Amendment, the control mechanism went underground. That's 1865 to 1915. The Ku Klux Klan functioning as the night shift of the former slave patrol, right? And those tactics were deniable assets. Sheriff by day, Klansmen by night. The Ku Klux Klan was not a separate from the state, but a tool to bypass the new constitutional right, shocking all terror. And that same shocking all terror you can see today with these named people, and this is just 1% of the names of the have murdered or have unalived, right? And it is the FOP who are hiring their lawyers and giving these people immunity to the things that they're doing, because if they were held by the same standards that you were, which is through the Constitution, they would be held as murderers and killers and be locked up. Y'all can go look at all of those names and unknown names right there at this website right here, right? Okay, so now we're going to get into the Brotherhood of Immunity, right? The Fraternal Order of Police, which is presented as a protection racket for enforcers. That's what it is from 1915 to present. And again, there you can go see that slave patrol badge right there, right? So like I told y'all, Pan got a hard time to show y'all, teach y'all that, or somehow show you like, oh, some police are good. Okay, yeah, but we ain't got time to shift through the bunch to find out which ones is. We need protection ourselves. So the mechanism of this blue wall of silence as armor, a vow of loyalty to the brotherhood over law. It creates an internal culture where reporting misconduct is viewed as betrayal. And y'all all know this to be true. If one of these police officers snitch on one of their police homeboys, we all know what's going to happen to him. He's going to lose his job and some more stuff, right? And the mechanism is qualified immunity, legislative shield, legal doctrines that make prosecuting officer or for exterminating a subject nearly impossible, right? And you see that now this white hood can now come in tactical black. You can get it in tactical black. They getting brown people, black people. It don't matter. You see this right here? This is state-sanctioned violence coming from the police, coming directly from the government. This is all one code of immunity, dealing with white supremacy, with the white man being at the top. And right here, you can see these are look at the headhunters from 1950 to the 1970s. Look, all of these, look at them smiling. All of them right here, well, all of them are a part of the same system that is murdering our leaders. And you see right there, they here to serve and protect. They just here to serve and protect. While the FOP manages the streets, the federal agencies manage the minds. COINTELPRO, nigga, was the brains of the whole design, right? Y'all know about this, right? To prevent the rise of a Messiah who can unify him. The militant black nationalist movements, right? This J. Edgar Hoover. Y'all can go look it up yourself, right? And what did they target? Or leadership. Here go Huey P. See, assassinations, incarcerations, infiltrations were used to remove visionaries capable of organizing coalitions. Targets like Malcolm X, MLK, Fred Hampton, the Black Panthers. All of these people were killed by the police. And guess who gave them their cover? Guess who gave them the cover? Guess who gave them immunity? That's right, the FOP, right? So that this is your brother Pan, big Pan, African Pan. Now it's going to convince you that they're your friends. They're your friends, right? So and we're just going to get into the introduction of crack through the CIA, right? I told you the intelligence program and the government, all of them are in cahoots, right? Flooding the hoods with narcotics, introducing narcotics into power centers to fund off wars while simultaneously destabilizing the community within.
Sorry, I was muted. That's time.
Warfare.
That's time. I got to mute.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me.
When I come back, I'm gonna finish some more of this right here, man. We got.
All right, we got it, sir. We got it. That's time.
Boy,
Pan, are you ready, sir? You're muted if you're talking. We can't hear you.
Yeah, my bad. Here we go.
Take your time.
You can hear me?
I can hear you. Do you need your screen shared?
I do. Give me 1 second. I just gotta move one thing. That was an interesting little discussion homeboy was just having right there. I don't know who he was talking to. He wasn't talking about this conversation, but let's get it rocking.
Time starts when you start.
Oh no, wait! I need you to share this screen. Hold on. Bang. Share screen. My bad, y'all. I thought this was already up. Bop. Bop. You got it? Can you see it?
Sure can.
Boom. Let's go. All right. Real quick, is the screen moving? You can see the two screens there.
Yep.
Let's get it. All right. First and foremost, let's deal with how Homeboy is framing this. It's definitely not about them being our friends. Let's get that out the way right now. You know what I'm saying? We've been watching the enemies of our race for a while now and keeping tabs on them. Part of the way that we've been doing that is them voluntarily giving us ways to keep tabs on them. You feel me? So let's get into it. Batpan, let's rock. So the golden age of fraternalism. That's where all of this spookism behind secret societies come, right? So let's get into it. The golden age of fraternalism, you know what I'm saying, is the mindset where if you see a fraternal form, that means it's potential covert power, right? So back in the days, over time, you know what I'm saying, we've had for sure some real and some imagined abuses by groups using fraternal structures. But even the brother earlier just he gave you a list of fraternal structures that's not negative in a practice in general, right? Talking about college student organizations, etc., right? So due to some of those influences back in the day, you know what I'm saying, collusion, nepotism, hidden influence, and racism, right? Now it's the template for now what moves forward. You know what I'm saying? Any fraternal features, you heard them, it's a cult now. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know what I mean? Like, come on. The lodge structure, the internal hierarchy, the secrecy, the discipline, the policy is a cult now. And it could be another hidden power group like COINTELPRO, right? But we all know groups that's like this. I even have a friend that's in a group called NAGA that people call never mind. Let's move. So if we want to keep an eye on these guys, we know, right? We can see their records right here. You know what I'm saying? The Order of Odd Fellows, the Knights of Pythias, the Improved Order of Red Men, which is an interesting study. I should go check that out, right? But they keep records, you know what I'm saying, back from 1878 here, 1870. You know what I'm saying? The golden age. Back then, they wanted to dress up. They wanted to act a fool, had a little secrets, right? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, they actually are serving people, right? So that's a difficult thing. So are all of the doctors that's Shriners in these hospitals saving 1.5 million children since 1922? You know what I'm saying? Actually in a conspiracy to kill people. So during our face-off, the brother mentioned the Masonic fraternity. He also mentioned it here tonight about Masonry and secret handshakes and all that, right? And he mentioned the Masonic Fraternal Order of Police, right? Which he found out in our face-off wasn't real, right? It was a scam made by those people. You know what I mean? And here it is. This is actually him finding it out in real time. I happened to screenshot it because I'm petty. He looked it up right in front of us and found out right in front of us that right there organization is not real. And so the things that people tie to the actual Fraternal Order of Police, you know what I'm saying, is really some conspiracy theory business. So reform, yes, and disband, no. You know what I'm saying? Even if the FOP is guilty of every critique, that's really why it should remain intact so we can see them. You feel me? Its existence makes the white institutional power more visible. It concentrates the opposition instead of scattering it, produces clear political contrast, enhances Black organizing clarity, and reinforces the need for independent Black institutions. Disbanding it would be like turning on a fog machine before battle. Somebody mute out. I'm hearing you cough and breathe. Even critics admit the FOP has contributed to certain benefits for people, right? Because you got to admit, no matter how Black you are, there are Black officers, right? And, you know what I'm saying, we have seen the FOP do certain things in reform efforts and trying to do outreach efforts into the community. They do scholarships, they do community programs, and they do local youth mentorship. Even though it's happening more in recent times, that is a symbol in itself of reformation being a thing. The FOP published guidance and best practices for body-worn cameras, right? Here it is right here. This is the whole thing. We ain't got to read it, but they did. They put out an entire booklet for it, you know what I'm saying, in a reformation aspect because, you know what I'm saying, things was wilding, as he pointed out, and there needed to be some changes made. And so now, even though they did have instances of fighting against it, some of the main body camera footage that you see to this day that have exonerated people and put the right people away came from this very book right here, and them implementing this best practices. Right. So the issue that the brother has is really with the state laws. You heard him mention it's a legislative problem. It's not just with them. It's with city negotiators and arbitrators, and not just the union alone. And we should fix the contract mechanisms and not just delete the institution. Right. We also have other unions that operate similarly. Right. Teachers unions, transit unions, firefighters unions, and federal employees unions. We don't talk about abolishing none of them. Right. Cancel culture. That's what this sounds like to me. So we're going to move through that. Right. Like I said, teachers unions. We know that the teachers union, he want to talk about racism. We know that the school to prison pipeline is a real thing. Part of the reason we know that is because we caught them being proud about their investment in the prisons, right? Their retirement funds, the American Federation of Teachers Union, right? Oh, what's that?
6 minutes.
Oh, I thought that was
6
time. I was
minutes.
like, wow, that was fast. Dougie Fresh, you're on. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Anyways, boom. We know that teachers unions was investing their retirement money into prisons, meaning if more black children go into prisons, their retirements would be cushionier. We know that because they told us that in their books. They identified themselves, right? So there was able to be pressure put on them to make them divest their funds from those things, right? Now, we can't say that they did all of the right things, but we know right here that at least the California thing is, according to this article, they divested 12 million. We know New York divested some, and I believe most of the rest of the ones on that list, but not all of them. And the fact that they were there is not a directive for us to disband those unions, even though we know that they was actively benefiting from black people being in prison. We don't talk about disbanding them, right? Bang. Defense lawyers protect the accused, even the guilty, right? Just like the FOP protects officers, even wrong ones, right? But we don't shut down or disband defense attorneys, right? We make sure that they do what they're supposed to do and put pressure on them to make reformations and changes when they're not, right? Let's see here. Here's an example. Johnny Cochran. We all know him, famous for one trial, but people forget about the fact that he defended Geronimo Pratt. Now, that white power structure would feel like Geronimo Pratt deserved everything that he got. Yet and still, we as black nationalists see Johnny Cochran as doing the right thing right here. Imagine if people was talking about disbanding defense lawyers for defending what they felt was wrong, right? Which is what my opponent is actually doing, right? William Kunstler, you know what I mean? He defended the Chicago 7, and I mean, he got a whole list of people that he defended. It would be ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? Because he defended people that a group of people, you know, deemed wrong, that he just gets disbanded. Come on. He defended Asada Shakur. Salute the queen. She just won. She won her race. You feel me? This brother right here, he got a defense lawyer. Imagine if he didn't have a defense anyways, right? But that's a good point right here, though, because insurance companies, right? Insurance companies pay out for negligent drivers, but we don't talk about abolishing insurance companies, right? And they definitely don't pay out for people who need the money health-wise, and we know black people are at the lower end of that. You feel me? That's why when he went in jail, the crew that he's hanging with is all black. Anyways. Oh, that's the end of that? Okay, how much time I got left?
2 minutes, 54 seconds.
Okay, so give me 1 second here, because what I would like to do really quickly is touch on a couple things that he mentioned, if you don't mind. Yeah. So when he was talking about in his first round, he brought up the fraternity, right? So like I said, the golden age of fraternal organizations, it was all types of fraternities and fraternal organizations coming about. And what people were trying to do was just, you know what I'm saying, emulate what they thought was you know what I'm saying, a righteous thing. Some of them took it left, but not all of them did. Right. The brother mentioned this right here. He spent a lot of time on this, but notice it's the FBI and not the FOP. Right. He talks about the Ku Klux Klan. We're going to deal with them. But I wanted to focus on this part right here specifically, the sheriff by day, Klansman by night. Remember, he said that. It was him that said that. And he's talking about the invisible empire. Marcus Garvey himself, matter of fact, pointed out the fact that the Ku Klux Klan was actually the governing body that he saw of the whole country. Now, just imagine if they wasn't as easily identifiable, right? We're going to get into that. He mentioned, I just thought it was funny that he said that these guys were smiling. I don't see how he can see them smiling right here. But he also, this is the point where he said it was a legislative shield, right? So it's also dealing with the laws, right? And the governmental structure. If we're going to talk about disbanding something and we talk about the actual perpetrators, the government and the policymakers would be the people who would be the target and not people who necessarily are negatively benefiting from the system. Right. So I'm going to yield the rest of my time for that and get ready to smack him up in the second round. You've hit. Have a nice day.
1 minute left. You yield the rest of your.
Yep, we good.
Okay. That is the end of round one. Let me get this timer reset. Anu.
Yeah, so yeah, I heard it, bro.
And while I'm doing that, let's go to a word from our sponsors.
Yeah. Woo. What? Woo. Yo. Woo. Hear the sounds of the trumpets. Start the rounds in the gauntlet. Get down and lay down when we stomping. It's the clash of the titans. Hear the sounds of the trumpets. Start the rounds in the gauntlet. Get down and lay down when we stomping. It's the clash of the titans. In the dimension where infinity.
Okay, and time starts when you start. Anu.
All right. Let me see here. Yeah, so like y'all just heard that right there. He got bringing up all type of other unions and stuff like that. We ain't talking about them other unions. We're talking about the Fraternal Order of Police. Those other unions ain't got killers on their payrolls. You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's the difference, right? You know what I'm saying? If any other organization, you know, we would not be supporting them. So again, this affirmative position against the disbandment of the FOP. The structural argument against the Fraternal Order of Police is based on the conflict of interest, the historical lineage, and the subversion of justice, right? We're talking about a fundamental conflict. The FOP is not merely a union, it is a structural barrier to constitutional policing. Its primary functions creates an irreconcilable conflict of interest, oath versus allegiance. Officer swears to uphold the Constitution, but the FOP demands allegiance to the Brotherhood. The impunity machinery, it acts as a shield for misconduct, protecting its members from the very laws that they enforce. That's a conflict of interest. We all got to agree with that, right? And again, I'm gonna take you back through the history because maybe Brother Pan didn't hear me when I said it the first time. 704, the slave patrols, right? State-sanctioned force, state-sanctioned force. That is the state. That's the government, right? The state-sanctioned force designed to control the movements and enforce economic hierarchy through summary justice. That's what slave patrols did, right? And then we went to we gonna jump to 1865. KKK individualism. What is vigilantism? right? It's when you take justice in your own hands and you enforce your own type of justice on a person, right? And that's state sanctioned. How you know it's state sanctioned? Because the KKK members are your lawyers, your doctors, your businessmen, they're your sheriffs, they're your police officers. You know it. We didn't already showed you the pictures. I ain't got to show you over and over again, right? So it says the post Civil War adaptation, the fraternal secrecy used to enforce the racial order outside of the bounds of law. That's what the KKK was, right? And then we're gonna jump not too far into the future, but just 1915 when the FOP was actually institutionalized, the institutionalization of the lodge, right? They could have used any type of fraternal structure. They chose to use the same one that the Freemasons used, right? Using lodge and everything. Fraternity, shielding, enforcement power of accountability, and that's what we've been talking about this entire time, right? And right here you can see the organization, the Klan, the KKK, demonstrating how fraternal order can mobilize political power. And there you can see all the Klansmen. Where you think they at? They at the Capitol, right there in their little coat uniforms, right? This their little coat traditions, right? And they got clannish roots, the clannish roots of the whole FOP ideology, us versus them. The origins of early policing was dominated by Irish immigrants, right? That's why you always hear the little bagpipes when one of them get popped. You know what I'm saying? They're always playing the bagpipes. That's because these are the foremen. The Irish were basically the Negroes of the Europeans, and when they wasn't enslaving them and hanging them in the gallows, they was giving them jobs like this, slave patrols and foremen, right? And the Irish immigrants who bought the clannish loyalty and structure to the force, the brotherhood model prioritizing the protection of the group over the law, was codified in the FOP's Grand Lodge structure, right? And it's hidden in plain sight right there. You can see the connection. The Masonic origins of the all-seeing eye creates a cultural and internal surveillance and secrecy, right? And they just so happen to use the same eye on their emblem. But they're not Masonic. It's not Masonic, but they just use the 5-point star and the circle. They're not Masonic though. They just use the same handshake, but they're not Masonic. The Masons use the checkerboard. If you ever go look at their stuff, they use a checkerboard, and we ain't gonna say nothing about this checkerboard right here in the middle of this emblem right here, right? We're not gonna talk about none of that. We're not gonna talk nothing about this triangle-shaped pillars right here, right? And then this triangle-shaped pillar right here. We ain't gonna talk about. We're gonna keep going, right? Because they not Masons. It's not Masonic, and they just made it look Masonic. And I'm not saying nothing wrong with Masonry at all, right? But we're talking about the Fraternal Order of Police. We ain't talking about the Masons, right? Breeding corruption, racketeering. When allegiance is to the lodge first, criminals conspire and flourish. Here's a Baltimore task force is inevitable results, a gang operating within the department shielded by the blue wall. And here's an example of that right here. The moral imperative. True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice. Martin Luther King. So the disbandment of the FOP to restore the constitutional integrity and to break the cycle of impunity. I open questions on the floor to anyone, to the audience. Do you think that the police should have a whole separate union that advocates for murderous, genocidal police officers? Some of these police officers are known. They are known being part of terrorist organizations, being skinheads and KKK members and things of that nature. All down in the South, all throughout the Midwest, and it's known all over the place. And the FOP knows that, and they still advocate for these people. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like at some point we're gonna have to hold somebody accountable, right? Who pays for the 2,200 lodges all across the world, all across the country, right? Or the FOP, who pays for the lodges? Because all of the fraternal lodges with the Masons, you know who pays for those? The Masons pay for them. They pay for them with their dues. Or you saying that the police officers are paying dues? Is that what you're saying? They're paying fraternal dues to the Fraternal Order of Police, and where are they getting that extra money to pay for fraternal dues and to the fraternity, right? Who's supplying them? Who's funding them, right? Right, when you go into the fraternal lodges, right, those are lavish buildings, right? And I mean, where's that money coming from? Could it be coming from the people that you're robbing and killing? Could it come from the money that's from the evidence lockers, right? So we're talking about a cult of impunity. Wouldn't you turn your back if they line in your pockets, right? So we're talking about a system of corruption on top of a system of corruption that powers white supremacy. It gives these people the impunity to murder your children, to murder your cousins, your loved ones, your nephew. You remember your nephew? You remember nephew, right? You remember Junebug, right? Huh? Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland. Huh? I mean, yes, yeah, I agree. Some police officers have been locked up. Right? Yeah, some. But if I scroll back and show you that list of names, right? I go back and show you that list of names and all the names that couldn't be named, and the fact that there was only 1% of the names, I couldn't even put all of them in there. It would have filled up my entire presentation of names that you have never even heard of, names that would never be spoken again, mothers, fathers, brothers who would never be seen again, all because the FOP creates a cult of impunity to cover their asses, not you, not the citizens. See, when you already take an oath to the Constitution, you already got a oath. You don't need no other cover, right? We already got labor unions. The police could be up under the same labor unions that all the rest of the essential workers are under, right? There's no reason for them to have their own separate labor union, right? And obviously, if the labor union is paying for lawyers for police officers that have murdered citizens, they've broken the law. They've broken the law. Why are you getting them they need to have a public defender just like any other criminal would have. Why they don't have the same standards as everybody else? No, give them a public defender. They broke the law. They working for the state. Get them the same justice there. You see what I'm saying? I like I said, I'm not here advocating getting rid of the police. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm not saying disband the police. I'm saying disband the Fraternal Order of Police, who creates a code of immunity and impunity. This code is the reason why officers are afraid to snitch on their partner when they know he's out here being racist, out here doing these things, right? That they know what'll happen. They'll lose their job. They'll get ostracized at work, right? They'll get all the crappy jobs, all of the crappy missions, right? They know that. So again, Pan gotta sit here and he got to rebuttal they history tying right back to the slave patrols. He got to rebuttal that. He got to rebuttal all of the nameless people that'll never be named and never be spoken. He gotta vouch for them, right? It ain't about the people that he haven't done nothing to. It ain't about other jobs and other occupations. It's about this specific one, the police, the Fraternal Order of Police. We're not going to make no red herrings and straw mans or non sequitur arguments. We're going to stay right here and what these people actually do, and that's to cover the ass of police officers who break constitutional law. And when they break constitutional law, that means you're dead, or you're locked up, or you and your assets and your properties are confiscated. So you tell me if you think that the FOP is here to serve you and your children. Holla at your boy. Naga up.
7 seconds.
You know, you can have
And that is time. That is time. Pan, are you ready to share your screen?
Oh, yes, I am the Muffin Man. Hold on 1 second. Oop, wait, is it working? Hold on. There that, there that, there that. All right, you can see that.
Let me see what you got. Mm-hmm. And time starts when you start.
Excellent. All right, let's get it rocking. First and foremost, I got a question for the crowd. Is that pseudo or facts what y'all just heard? Shout out to the trivia show on the channel. Make sure y'all subscribe and watch that joint. So the brother said I got an answer for all of these people for the history and all that. Okay, fine. Anytime you see this right here, you know the term that goes along with it. It's called the thin blue line, right? And it's always been about protecting each other the whole time. It's never been about nothing else. When you see this, they talking about Blue Lives Matter. They talking about they gonna do that whether they part of the union or not. Because what people may not realize is not all police are members of the Fraternal Order of Police. Yet and still, all police rock with this thin blue line, right? So if the issue is like the brother just said, if it's state sanctioned and it's individuals that's participating in it, it's not necessarily just this group that decided they're going to defend the crew, right? And it's a waste of time and a red herring in itself to be focusing on a group that you don't have the organizational power to disband. You don't have the numbers to disband, and you generally don't have a plan to disband it. Because what is the mechanism to disband this entity? It's not there. So it's a waste of energy actually to even be considering disbanding them. Plus it's state sanctioned, right? Meaning it is government sanctioned, meaning it is technically going by their law and their constitution, regardless of how you see it. It's state sanctioned. You just said this. Clannish roots, right? I paused it on this one right here because I wanted y'all to look at that uniform. Just stay focused on that because we're going to touch on uniforms in a minute, right? So know thy enemy. Where we get that from? Sun Tzu? Nah, we get that from Kwame Nkrumah. We're going to deal with that in a second. A predictable enemy is safer than a hidden one. When you know thy enemy, you know how to deal with them, right? And the FOP happens to issue public statements. They endorse candidates. They negotiate public contracts. We know exactly who they are, and we can tell we can predict their behaviors. Everything in it they do is predictable, right? So if we smart and we serious and we watching, we can deal with it, right? In early warfare, officers didn't even wear clear identifying symbols, right? Let's go back into history, right? Back in the day, they wouldn't have different colors. They wouldn't have different symbols that identify the generals and officers because they knew that was identifying a target for the enemy. Check. Anybody not paying attention should start focusing right now, right? Boom. Never mistake the institution for the ideology behind it. All right. So if they was to break up, let's just say they disbanded right now, what would they do? Where would they go? You think they would stop acting the way that they acting right now? You think they would stop being immoral because they're no longer in a union? Of course not. They would figure something else, right? So disbanding them would weaken our strategic positioning. Disbanding the fact that they're already public, documented, and easily to trace weakens our strategic positioning. Bang, right? And like I said, know thy enemy. We get that from Kwame Nkrumah, Revolutionary Warfare. You feel me? It's the handbook of revolutionary warfare. Book 1 is called what? Know thy enemy. Check it. Right? You can go look this up yourself. I suggest anybody that's serious about our people and all of the unnamed, go check out anyways, let's move, right? So going back to our ancestors and what they would say, right? Ida B. Wells say the way to right wrongs is to turn the light of truth upon them, right? So how we gonna put the light on them if we can't see them, if we don't know where they at, right? You feel me? Stokely Carmichael says we have to recognize who our major enemy is. The major enemy is not your brother of flesh or your flesh, blood of your blood. The major enemy is the white man and his institutions of racism. That's the major enemy. And he just said it's the governmental structure, it's state sanctioned. They already on that. That one particular group is silly to waste energy on that when we know that they have a large structure of institutional racism and attacks against our people. And our brother Malcolm X said, I have more respect for a man who lets me know where he stands, even if he's wrong, than the one that comes up like an angel and nothing but a devil, or disguised, or trying to hide, or trying to act like something else. You feel me? We've always emphasized identifying opponents clearly, understanding power relationships honestly, and recognizing institutions that structurally maintain anti-black social order. That's why you know all the stuff that you know. We're supposed to know that as black nationalists. You're supposed to be on top of that. And the moment they decide they're going to start moving, we're going to have to go find them. But right now, we know exactly where they are, right? The Fraternal Order Police, who's even there, right? They let you know that they have to be a full-time sworn law enforcement or officer, right? So we know who the individuals are. We see them, and they wear badges. They put license plate numbers on their car, right? Yeah, they identify themselves regularly for us to see where they are. Where are they? Here's in Missouri. We could find all the lodges in Missouri if we decided we wanted to know where they are and who they are, who the people are that are doing the bad things to our people. We know exactly where they are. We've been watching them. We can see them. That's why you know the things that you know. Right. Let's go. We can keep going. We can go find them. You want to find out the actual members in Baltimore? Come on, we can check them. We can check and see exactly who's who. Jerry? Who is Jerry? Let's go check up on him. You know what I mean? We can go to their national headquarters, right? In Nashville. You feel
6
me?
minutes.
Dougie Fresh on you hear me. Let's go. Turn it up. If we decide we want to go see them, we can go see them. But I digress. So now, mute your mic out, bro. So the brother said, okay, so them other unions and stuff, they ain't got no killers on their team. Let's deal with that. So now we got a real life cult right here, a real life fraternal problem organization right here. The real Illuminati, and the literati was against the Illuminati, right? There was a whole problem with them back in the day. And then all of a sudden the conspiracy theories from that problem managed to find its way over to the United States. Notice the timeline there, and when the timeline with my opponent had started. Interesting, right? And here you go, the Illuminati scare in the United States from 1798 to 1800. And it seems to 2025, because now my brother is emulating the same arguments from 1798, right? It's a chain of deep laid and premeditated villainy. Ooh, right? Because what happened? So when the actual Illuminati got broke up, we know that they broke up and went into all types of different organizations in different places all over the world. Now we know this because people have found certain things and it's been outed. However, we know it now. But there was a time when we didn't know it, right? And so the hidden thing is better. I mean, the known thing is better than the hidden thing. La Cosa Nostra, he said something about killers on the team. Okay, well, here's another union that's got killers on their team. When they did break up, what did they do? They moved into all types of different organized crime situations that are hard to track. They happen to be tracking them, but they're hard to track. They're moving through shell companies now. They're doing all types of, they operating parking lots and different things like that now. They're not doing the same organized crime that they was doing before when it was obvious who they were, right? When we could identify them easily. He mentioned the Klan, right? Like I said, like he said, I was going to say it, but he said it. Back in the day, it used to be behind every Klan mask, you know, you had a police officer, a politician, a doctor, whatever, right? That's, you know, that was a common thing. Here's David Duke. He just got finished sponsoring Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, we know it's a governmental thing. That's just what it is, right? And if we decided we wanted to go locate certain people, once they have identified themselves to us, we could just go find them and go look at they stupid ass. You feel me? How we want to find the KKK? You want to find them? They got a radio show. All right, you can go to right now. They got a TV station. You can go right there to it right now. We can find them. Why? Because they easily identify themselves. They love wearing markings and wearing flags and having flags and uniforms. Uniforms. Remember we talked about the uniforms? Right. And what's good for the goose should be good for the gander. So we talking about speaking for the unnamed people. We're talking about the people who was affected by these policies and these groups and these organizations and these people and these evil, immoral assholes, right? However, what we gonna do about it? Disbanding them ain't gonna do nothing if we don't have organizations that can combat the things that's going against our people. Disbanding them would just put them into a secretive position for them to further do bad things to our people. What we need to be doing is focus on building our own organizations that can combat in the same manner, in the exact same manner as these organizations deal with us. We should be dealing with them. You feel me? But we could start off with Dr. Claude Anderson's 5-story building. It's an easy fix, and we can start that tomorrow. And you already knew this. You feel me?
2 minutes.
2 minutes? All right. Yeah. I don't know if I even got 2 minutes more stuff to go with. I don't. But so Lord Magnus, you feel me? We was talking about doing DC versus Marvel. You know what I'm saying? We ain't get into that. But I wanted to make sure you was clear with the questions that you asked. It's not necessarily about being friends with these people. It's about them being easily identifiable, so we know how to combat our adversaries. Anybody that's standing against us, we should be ready to defend. Anybody that's doing actions against us, we should be able to act back. These words right here is actually coming straight from Marcus Garvey's speech, right? And so when we dealing with Black nationalism, like I said in that one slide, I can see if I can get all the way back to it. You know what I'm saying? We have always stressed identifying our enemies, and being able to deal with them appropriately. You know what I'm saying? And I'll end on that, and I'll just say salute to family and have a nice day.
And you have 45 seconds left. Do you yield the rest of your time?
I do. Did that work? Yeah, okay, that was working.
And that is the end of the second round. Now we're going to go into the Q&A. And before we do that, we're going to give a shout out to all the people advancing to round 2. This is Coliseum of Arguments, where Titans become legends. Big shout out to Emmanuel for taking the win over Mayan. Big Hemi, not the little one. Big Clark had her opponent so scared. Didn't even show up. Big shout out to the top Titan right now. 5 all challengers. And King Naga. And big shout out to Zion. And honestly, legend. Shout out everybody on the round 2. This and Kakarot, First Order of Bandit, and back. Let me get this timer set to 10 minutes.
Let me know when you're ready.
Time starts when you start, sorry.
So man, so like some of the stuff you saying sound like feel good stuff. Because here's the thing, with the historical abuse of the not only the police department and the Department of Justice, but the FOP, the Fraternal Organization of Police, and covering for murderous scumbags that killed all of our freedom fighters and locked all of our people up, people like Martin Luther King, the Black Panther Party. How can you explain how did this, because the FOP been around since 1915, so were you not surveying the police and the FOP back then, because they killed Martin, they killed Malcolm, they killed all of the other leaders, right? And the whatever, however you were surveilling or surveying them, obviously wasn't working then, right? So I'm asking you, explain to us how does the surveillance of these individuals work if they're not taken out of the equation?
Well, working backwards, the part as far as how much surveillance was happening back in 1915, the technology that we have right now is miles beyond what they had back then. They had no way to be able to cross-reference the things in the speed that we have right now, and to be able to share them across, you know what I'm saying, literal the world at the same few minutes. For you to be able to have the information that you have right now, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't even be able to have that back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So of course the surveillance was different and the outcomes were different. As far as what people did with the surveillance that they had, or even would do with what they have, right? It's still 2025. Over the last 10-15 years, people still have not been able to act against those powers that be that have been doing things against our people. So any effort to respond to that will be a good effort to respond to that, but we don't have a mechanism to disband them.
You agree that even in your own words, even in 2025, those individuals are hard to eliminate out of the equation. So
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the surveillance has changed and it's more sophisticated now.
So let me ask this. So how or when or the revolutionaries are going to apprehend these particular individuals to take them out of the equation? Like how does that look in 2025? Like, or are y'all like, are they building their own jails, or like, I mean, like, how does that look? Because I don't see any other alternative. Like explain to us how does that look?
I'm not even sure if I understand your question, and I'm not even being facetious. How does what look?
So in order, like, so we're when I say we're gonna disband the Fraternal Order of Police, we're taking away their union, right? The white supremacist structure only exists. It can only do what it's doing because the people who are doing the most atrocious crimes are getting impunity and immunity from this particular organization.
Yeah, but that's not true. That's not true though. Because they get off other ways.
Brother, when police get in trouble, when they break the law under the shield, the FOP are the people that fight for them, and that's
but not all police are FOP members.
Get out. But I'm gonna go on to another question. Okay, so how do you reconcile the FOP's action with the widespread public perception that this is the very influence that creates a system of impunity where officers are shielded from accountability, essentially forcing the admission and that the unchecked police power leads to corruption because the will of the people and their elected representatives are anti-democratically voted?
Well, you sort of answered that in your round, right? Because it is state sanctioned. So once the government is behind the actions of immoral actions, period, it don't matter what organization or individual it comes from. If the government is behind it, you know what I'm saying? That is the target now. It's not the organization. You know what I'm saying? You have to deal with those elected officials that you just mentioned. You literally just mentioned the elected officials.
Right. So okay. So with you agreeing that not only is it the elected officials, it's the police, and then they have a union, an actual fraternal union, right? That right there is no different than if you had a religion and you had your rituals, right, and then you had your practitioners, right? That's the same thing. The only difference is that this religion is rooted in white supremacy. It's rooted in white exceptionalism, white Protestant Americanism. So I'm gonna go on to the next one. So given the extensive historical documentation tracing the roots of modern U.S. policing from its earliest form in slave patrol and labor control to the development during the periods of radicalized white Americanism. The argument is made that the police culture of systematic racism is not an aberration, but a direct institutional inheritance. How does the Fraternal Order of Police, a powerful organization dedicated to maintaining the status quo and blocking reform, justify its existence and political agenda when it is seen by critics as actively defending and perpetuating this very historical, ingrained, and racial bias U.S. policy and history?
I mean, that's an excellent question, but the answer is by focusing on the individuals that's doing the atrocities and not necessarily the people that's screaming to defend them. Like I said, with the defense lawyers defend people all the time, whether they're innocent or guilty, like official guilty. You know what I'm saying? But we don't disband that organization. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, they do the exact same thing. Like every other murderer is a defense lawyer that defends them. Okay, so you got a police defended by the FOP, and every other murder is defended by a defense lawyer. Okay, so we don't get rid of defense lawyers.
So understand, I'm not saying get rid of defense lawyers. I'm saying that listen. If you went and did a crime right now, right?
Yes.
They would go get you a public defender, right? A public defender is a state sanctioned lawyer. Right?
They would go get, but I could hire a defense lawyer though.
Listen to my question. Why are police officers more or more privy to a higher caliber of lawyer when they are state sanctioned? Why aren't they issue a public defender instead of a high powered paid lawyer by the FOP? See,
that's easy. No, the answer is easy. Wait, the answer is really easy. They pay dues. They pay dues, and their dues pay for whatever they decide they want to pay for. Again, it's goose versus gander. Like I said, we could do the same shit. I don't understand why we not talking about us doing it.
He's agreeing that they're paying their dues to get covered to do crimes. It's a code of impunity.
To do crimes?
I'm gonna go to the next question though. Because
it's like saying a GoFundMe for a defense is
police officer wears an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Yes.
An oath that requires them to prioritize justice, due process, and the protection of all citizens' rights. When an officer subsequently swears a separate organizational oath to the FOP, which is a private political entity, aggressively lobbies and preserves the power and protect the jobs of its member, often by blocking legislations designed to increase public accountability. At what specific point does the FOP's oath override the conflict with the seldom constitutional duty by thereby leading an officer to violate their original sworn commitment to the law and the public they serve?
Dude. Yo, pause the time real quick. A1. Can you hear me?
Got 13 seconds. You want to pause the time?
Yes, pause the time because I clearly that question was long, and I ain't trying to front. I really want him to at least ask it shorter so I can actually answer it before the time is up. Because I did not. That was a fucking lot, dude.
I created this question specifically.
I'm starting the time back. He got the time you got. I'm not letting you help him.
Look, I told you that this what it was for, cuz. All right. So, okay. So, at what specific point does the FOP's oath override or conflict with the seldom constitutional duty, thereby leading an officer the original sworn commitment to the law and the public they serve?
I think primarily you have a misunderstanding about the original oath that police have to take because it's not necessarily to protect and serve anybody.
That's time.
Check.
That's time. That's
You ain't gonna answer the
Yo.
question.
Tried to stop the time. He tried to give you extra time.
Yeah, I was trying to give him time. I was trying to let him
He got the
get his
time
answer.
that I set for him. That's 10 minutes. That's it.
Let's get it.
I ain't gonna let him talk his way into it. I ain't gonna let you talk his way into it. Okay, timer reset. Are you ready?
Just for 2 seconds, I want to just share my screen.
There's a question on your screen or something.
Okay, let me pause.
Yep.
The time.
Oh, I mean, if there's an objection,
you sure you ain't adding more presentation?
no. You know what? I won't do this. I won't do this. I won't even do it. Never mind.
It sounds like a slick way to add more presentation.
It definitely
I got
wasn't.
more presentation too.
It wasn't.
Does. Okay, time starts when you start.
Okay, I'm not sharing my screen. We're just gonna ride. Okay, so first and foremost, what mechanism do you suggest that we use to disband the federal the FOP?
By force and by incarceration, possibly flogging as well.
Okay, now who do you see that would be doing the force?
You say who would be doing what?
The force. You said by force, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so who's doing it?
the police.
So wait a minute. So your suggestion is to have the police disband the FOP?
Publicly. Yeah, publicly, right here in front of us. We all want to watch.
Oh, that's interesting. So what do you have a plan on how you could suggest to do that? Suggest to them to do that?
You said, I mean, hopefully with like chain collars and blunt objects. You know what I'm saying? Not nothing too heavy. You know, maybe like some tungsten pipes wrapped in rubber.
Okay, so I just got my next question is that pseudo or facts?
Next question.
Next question. Okay, so when I say it's good, first of all, like I said, what I was going to share my screen on was to show the court ruling, the Supreme Court, the state sanctioned Supreme Court ruling, talking about how the police do not have a duty to protect.
Presentation. Yeah, I got you.
So knowing that they don't necessarily have the duty to protect us, we know that their goal, regardless, is not going to necessarily be us, specifically Black people. So why would you think that they would ever change and be moral in any way towards us if their goal was against us from slavery, like you said?
Oh, that was a question? You was asking me that?
Yes. Why would you think that even if they disbanded, they would behave morally if they came together under slavery?
I don't.
So what would be the point of disbanding them?
Oh, so you say I thought you were talking about dragging them out and punishing them in public with their own people. Okay, so I was mistaken about what.
Choose all of here. Answer for both of those. The dragging out, the regular dragging out, and the regular disbanding. What would be the point if you know that they're going to behave the same? Yes. What would be the point?
What would be the point of dragging them, having their own people drag them out and beat them in public?
Well, you could add that, but what's the point of disbanding them if they're going to behave the same way or find more intricate ways to behave the same way?
Any army or system is only as good as its brain, right? And so, in order to dismantle that system of racial supremacy, you have to start somewhere. And I don't see why that isn't a good place to start. Is disbanding the racist polices have immunity to the atrocities that they do. I don't think that's
well, you made a good point right there. You said an entity can't operate without its brain, right? So then why not just attack the brainstem that you identified in your argument, which is the government structure itself?
You say what?
I said, why not attack? You made a good point just now. An entity can't operate without its brain. So why not attack the brainstem?
You went robot for a second. I didn't get that. Did you hear him?
A1, can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you good. Go ahead.
He said he can't hear me.
You did go robot, but you good now.
You got.
You went robot, but you good. Go ahead.
You got to take the helmet off, man. While you talking, you can't. Do that.
Continue.
And now I don't remember what I was asking. Okay, so let's see here. If the police themselves are not all FOP members,
DC and Marvel.
okay. If the police themselves are not all FOP members, right? But police as a whole can be seen as enemies as our people. Why not focus on them as a target?
Yeah, so I'm not talking about dismantling the police.
No, I noticed you said that a couple times today, and I'm wondering why not.
Why not dismantle the police?
Well, yeah, they're the ones that make up the FOP. Without the police, you don't have a FOP.
Because the police is our friends.
I'm sorry, what?
They some of them black, right? They're cool, right? They got jobs. They can ride around their cars and stuff, eat donuts, help people.
Well, is we still live? Is we still live right now?
Yeah.
Did you just say that what? What did you just say? Yeah. Say it one more time.
I'm supposed to help people.
But you not only do you already know this. Hold on a second. Hold on, but you just. But you already knew this before you started talking to me that the Supreme Court ruled that the police do not have a.
Is everything okay?
We good. Don't worry about it. How much time is left?
I'm just making sure everybody's audio and everything is working. Okay.
It's 5 minutes left. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
4 minutes and 52 seconds.
You just admitted earlier that you realized that the Supreme Court ruled that the police do not have a duty to protect us.
You say what? They ruled what?
They do not have a duty to protect us. You just agreed to that. You just agreed to it a minute ago.
Disagree to what?
Fam. Anyways, all right. So you don't have a plan to disband them, and you think that the rest. I
already told you my plan.
But if the people that's the members of the FOP are our friends, how will you decipher which ones are our friends and which ones aren't?
Who? What you about? The FOP, the union?
Yes.
Whoever on the union board, they're fired. They got to get out of Dodge. We're turning all the lodges into McDonald's.
Who is we, bro?
Hey, look, man, look. Hey, look. This is it's a dream, bro. Like we can do it, like Obama. Yes, we can. We can do it. You and I, we can start one lodge at a time. Oh, you don't want to do that? That's too radical.
Fam, I'm not even sure what level.
You don't want to go unseat some monsters? We can go do it. Like you can go get a couple of color.
My question, my question to you. Hold on, because we in the question. Hold on,
radical homeboys. We can suit up.
Hold on, because the question is. My question is.
The very first lodge that was built,
sir. Sir, I think you might want to stop. I think you might be talking against your point. So hold on one second.
What do you mean?
Well, because if you don't have the people and you don't have a plan and it's a dream, what are we doing?
We got a plan. Like it's us black people against the system. What you mean? We not the pig.
So half of your debate presentation was that they not our friends. The other half is that they are our friends.
We the people. We not the pig. I'm trying to understand why we wouldn't go do it.
Sure.
All the black
revolutionaries familiar right now,
just
sir.
Mob up and go unseat them.
Fam. What is your rebuttal to the insurance companies and teacher unions and defense lawyers doing similar things, but yet not being a target of your ire?
Oh yeah, because that's not secular. We're talking about the police.
Well, the police is not who we talk. We're not talking. But we wasn't talking about the police. We was talking about the Fraternal Order of Police, which is different than the police department. Right. So if we're gonna be specific, what was your response to the teachers unions and the lawyers? So what was your response to the lawyers, teachers, and insurance companies to do the same thing?
I went in response to the teachers union because we're talking about the fraternal order of police.
So the fact that the numbers are similar as far as the detriment to our people.
Yeah. I wouldn't even.
You don't got nothing for them. Well, this is what I'm saying. No. It is no, because if you got nothing for people who's got similar records against our people, right? Why would you have anything for those people that would be the most heavily armed? This doesn't seem like you're making a serious and honest argument here.
Like I just told you before, right? We got to start somewhere, and this is a good start. Unless you know,
I just showed you the teachers unions. I just showed you that the teachers unions were against our children. I just did. When the teachers unions was anti our children.
Teachers union?
Yes, first of all, don't play with me. Of course, I'm not fucking playing. Absolutely.
Education. We're gonna dismantle the teachers.
No, absolutely not. Because what happened with the teachers unions, we found that they was benefiting off of our children going to jail, and then from jail they in the system moving forward. So why would you not have a problem with that? But you got a problem with
the school is a pipeline to prison.
I'm sorry, what?
So you're advocating that a school is a pipeline to prison, then?
So are you saying that you wasn't paying attention to the presentation?
Yeah, so I'm saying if it's
like you wasn't. I just want you to let me ask you again. Were you paying attention to my presentation?
Yeah.
So did you see the Ida B? You see the Ida B. Wells quote?
Huh?
You see the Ida B. Wells quote?
You say Westfolk? Who is that?
Did you see the Kwame Nkrumah quote?
Oh yeah, I saw it. But
you saw that? So Revolutionary War. That's the handbook. That's the handbook.
We out of time, brother.
I know. That's why I ended on the handbook.
All right. Let's get ready for the closing arguments. 3-minute closing arguments.
Oh.
Let me set the timer and get you ready to go on the big screen. Who's going first?
I think it's me.
Is it on me?
No, because you went first in the
Okay. Just let me know, because I got a bunch of shit to blab about, bro.
You know what? Go ahead.
But you only gonna call my bluff like that, first. Like you a dirt man. You've been on a lot of dirtbag shit lately.
You're right about that, sir. you have correctly analyzed.
We're gonna stick to the format, Pan, as much as we can.
Okay,
we're gonna have you go first. Time starts.
Okay, let's get it.
Pan.
Let's go. You ready? Boom. Like I said, dealing with American fraternalism, the book that I showed in their presentation, talking about the golden age of fraternalism and the suspicion that surrounds them. That's why the focus is on the Fraternal Order of Police and not the police department, who are the actual perpetrators of the things that the brother is mad about. That's why we're not talking about the teachers unions or the Illuminati or the mafia even, because it's the spooky. It is the spookism. You know what I'm saying? And we saw that came from the little Roman Catholic scare that happened and came across to America back in the 1700s. The FOP, along with all these other racist organizations and organizations who have a history with racism, have still been able to be reformed in some ways. And if we have the power to disband something, we could prove that by getting some reform to happen first. And we actually have been shown that some reform can happen, like I said, with the body cameras, with the community organizations and the youth groups and things like that. Again, it's more in modern times, but that's evidence that reform can happen. And if we have the power to dismantle somebody else's organization, we then have the power to build our own. And if we can do that, that should be our focus. It's a waste of time to focus on trying to disband somebody else's group, cult, organization, religion, just like it would be a waste of time to try and disband Christianity or voodoo. You know what I'm saying? it's what people. That's what they're gonna do. It's way worse white supremacist organizations that we can focus on. That's doing way worse. You know what I mean? Talk about the U.S. government by itself. You know what I'm saying? Current. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think this was an easy debate. I just want to thank my opponent for giving me this easy win. I appreciate that. He's seen I was stressed out lately, and thanks, man. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Have a nice day. Now we out here. Let's get it.
1 minute.
Don't make me start singing. Okay. So, like I said, it's about them being identifiable. I talked about uniforms. Remember, I pointed that out one more time. Even back in the day, going all the way back to as far back in history as you can, generals and officers and high-ranking members of the opposing armies did not identify themselves with insignias and symbols and stuff because they knew it was an easy opportunity for the enemy to see them. In the same way, in reverse, in this situation, these people, the enemies of our folks, is making it real easy for us to identify them. There's no reason for us to suggest taking that away when they're standing right there. And now all it is a plan to either defend against it or do something, you know, saying offensive, like the brother suggested. But until we have some sort of structure, something built, something of our own, it's just a pipe dream, like he said. And he admitted it, which I appreciate. I appreciate the fact that you admitted it's just a dream. And have a nice day.
That is time.
And
ANUKAKERT, it is on you. Let me throw you on the big screen. Time starts when you start.
It's a video in the private chat. I want you to play it.
You want a video for it? It sounds like a way to get more presentation in.
Well, that's what it sounded like, Sean. It sounded real soundy. It sounded real soundy.
It's just my closing, bro.
Nah, that should sound real soundy, bro.
It's just my closing.
No, this still is the closing argument. It's not the Q&A.
I don't give a fuck. Play that shit. I don't care.
I usually do slides on my closing too.
I don't even care. So I'll just play.
It's the first one, bro.
The very first one. Okay.
In private chat.
Now, if it's skipped, that's on you because this one part of the plan. Now you doing extra stuff.
It ain't that long. It's only be like a minute long.
And then you yielding in the rest of your time.
Yeah.
Because I'm not about to set the timer.
I'm sorry. I'm setting my timer.
Okay. Hold it down.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
I know what it is.
Goddamn it, time.
This motherfucker, man.
You got me pulling up YouTube videos. I'm wearing prep for this.
I don't think you should do that because you might get a strike. You might get a copyright strike. You should probably not do that shit, son.
Nah, I made it myself.
Oh.
Okay.
That nigga crazy, A1. I wouldn't do it if I was
It's only
you.
50 seconds.
Dude, I heard the guy that made that video was a wild guy, bro. He might give you a copyright strike. Don't play it.
Nah. Share screen.
Wow, there's a Taliban.
7, 9, 3.
Laptop sensitive. Was that you cheating yesterday?
Nah, that was the phone.
That was the Gemini reading the answer back.
Wow.
That sounded like it was him.
I wasn't even on there, cuz.
That's crazy. We pulled him out.
God.
I wish I could claim that.
This is not the debates you wanted me to pull up. I was watching this earlier. I don't know why that came up.
I feel like I should put the timer back. Do I got to restart the timer?
Okay. Here we go.
Right.
I'm about to just let it rock. So, 50 seconds. This is your outro? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Lorel,
Yeah.
that's your outro?
Oh, I thought it must be the wrong video. Anyway, man, it's not the world
Okay.
order, man. It's your boy ANUKAKERT. As y'all see, I beat him up real bad. You know what I'm saying? I
Man,
told
you tried to slide that in there, man. Come on, man.
y'all see, I had dismantled them from top to
Go
bottom,
ahead.
chronological order, coming from the inception, from the slave patrol to the KKK to the FOP, and dealing with the intelligence and the government state sanctions, bombardment and dismemberment of our own black nation. You know what I'm saying? Our attempts to be autonomous. You know what I'm saying? And you see that is the FOP and the system justice system have been used to basically dismantle those things for us. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, this right here was for all of those people named and unnamed. You know, like I said, it's too many to go over. This right here is for the ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Where we always bring in awareness back to the fact that we were a free and organized people before the creation of the United States, and we will always strive to become that Black Republic. Like that, that's nothing's ever going to stop that. We're going to continue that and to strive towards that goal, as all of us and pro-black people are. We have traditionally have always been against this particular union because it's not healthy for us. And so, like I said again, it was a treat. It was actually pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? My opponent, I thought he was gonna be tougher. He wasn't as tough as I thought he was gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But y'all see, I came with that presentation, flawless, beautiful presentation. You know what I'm saying? The dissertation of that information came out flawlessly. You know what I'm saying? So I hope this was a treat for you. I hope you learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? Naga World Order. You know what I'm saying? Titans representative, cuz nigga, holla at your boy.
And that is time. That is time, gentlemen. Amazing debate. We're about to get over to the war room. I have a few questions for you, gentlemen. The war room is where we go over the blow by blow, dissect the detail, the punches that missed, the ones that landed. So make sure that you get over there and hear it straight from the horse's mouth about how these two gentlemen feel. We're going to go ahead and end this one. Keep it tight for the judges. You know how we do over here. Titans Debate League, Coliseum of Arguments, where Titans become legends. Shout out to you, everybody who rode through this debate with us, man. You the real MVP. Um, and I am making that stream right here. You can catch us in about 60 seconds back here on this channel. Appreciate you. And actually, while I'm doing that, we're going to end with a song from Connie Sun. You can check him out on all platforms. I usually listen to him on Spotify. Of course, it always does this at the end. Hold on. No, it's not letting me scroll. Okay. Uh, you know what? Let me try one more time. Maybe my arrow up and get it. It's not letting me see the scroll bar to go up or down. I hate when it does this. Yeah, so with that being said, catch us back here in 60 seconds. I'm going to refresh this browser, get this back going. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Um, Damn, that's crazy. And y'all have a good night.